Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. Anton here, giving you, oh my word, like it's wild as a West Ham fan, isn't it? It really is. We're ramping up all the transfer rumours that are kicking around with regards to our club and all the players that we're potentially linked to and who's coming in, who's going out, in, out, shake it all about. I feel like that's the song I always bring up at this time of year, but it's so true because the rumours are relentless and through the roof. And I don't really know what's going to happen. I did a video this morning saying that I'm angry, full of anguish, annoyed, you name it. I try to use all the angry words that begin with A. And it's so true because I just don't know why we would leave our business so late. But we have had some changes, obviously, this month. And it is what it is. And it's very blatant that David Sullivan is getting involved in all of our transfer dealings. I don't know how you can't think this is happening because reputable sources are coming out stating that West Ham are lowballing many offers for players that, yeah, okay, some of the players on paper sound like they're really kind of interesting options that may work to the benefit of what West Ham's style of play in the future can be. But again, the lowball bids are starting to take the piss, really, with the whole situation. So without further ado, I'm just going to get cracking and give you some of the updates so far. Now, last night or this morning, you would have seen Fabrizio Romano, well known, of course, in the world of transfer dealings, came out and said that West Ham had made a bid for Ricardo Pepi, who is currently at Feyenoord, who scored the winner against Liverpool in the Champions League yesterday. Apparently, West Ham tabled a £20.9 million bid for the United States striker, which was a loan with an obligation to buy, and that was rejected by the Dutch side. Other people came out and said that there's going to be fireworks in the transfer market expected at PSV in this coming week, and they're suggesting that West Ham will go back for another offer for Pepe. And it looks like the 22-year-old player could be high up in the rankings of a target that we want to go for. Now, he is known as a strong striker with strong presence in the penalty box, excellent movement in and off the ball, the ability to finish with both feet, which is also a very good thing. That makes him, a very good attacking option. He links up play with the midfielders by dropping deep and creates plenty of space with his runs behind the defence rather than relying on individual dribbling to create chances. So in theory, what you could say is you're out-and-out striker who does drop back in and hold up the play. He's got good aerial ability, and his finishes inside the box are definitely his key strengths. He's definitely more dangerous in that penalty area, 100%. He's got intelligent runs in behind the defence, creates space for a lot of his teammates, holds up the play, link-up plays very, very good. But it's going to be interesting to see how far West Ham take this, or is this one of those phantom bids? Because you can't help but think that a player potentially of Pepe's standard, PSV are going to protect their asset. They will want as much more money as they possibly can. He has got dual citizenship, but of course plays for the United States, born in Texas in America, but is dual citizenship, Mexican and USA citizen, you could say, as well. In his career so far for PSV, he has played 68 games in total, scoring 26 goals with 6 assists, and has played throughout several different leagues, including the MLS as well. So interesting one to keep an eye on. But there is another update for what you could say is a long-standing January transfer interest, and that is for this player. We've received a boost in the pursuit of Evan Ferguson, and the reason why is that if you would have seen Bayer Leverkusen had a really strong interest in Evan Ferguson and bringing him in from Brighton, well, they were basing that upon the fact that they were about to lose their striker, Victor Boniface, a player that West Ham previously scouted and looked to bring in to the club. Well, that deal for him to move to Saudi Arabia, to Al Nassr, was called off and has stopped dead in the water, and that is not happening now at all. Now, Bayer Leverkusen were leading the race to sign Ferguson, but their need for a striker has been eased after it looks like Al Nassr have struck a deal to bring John Duran. Of course, another West Ham target, meaning that Boniface is now going to stay at Leverkusen. Of course, Duran's going to be going for crazy money, and to think West Ham could have signed him for, what, just £5 million more than what we initially bid back in the summer. And it looks like that has now paid dividends for West Ham, who looks like Ferguson, 20-year-old Republic of Ireland international, is going to not be moving to Leverkusen. And it looks like Brighton are considering letting him leave in the final days of the transfer window, either on a loan or permanent, if the offer is right. And it looks like West Ham are definitely going to have to make an offer for him, because it looks like Graham Potter likes this guy, obviously playing with him under when he was the coach for Brighton. So the Ireland international has had plenty of other inquiries, some from the Premier League, some from abroad, even in the Scottish Premier League where they're looking to take a loan deal. Celtic were paying an interest, Frankfurt in Germany, Everton, Bournemouth, Tottenham, you name it, some of those clubs there as well. Now, Ferguson, who's not been playing a lot of game time under the Brighton's coach, has made just 2 Premier League starts this season, having previously been one of the most promising young forwards in the Premier League under Graham Potter and Roberto De Zerbi. So it looks like West Ham may be pushing on a deal to try and bring Evan Ferguson to West Ham. So on that, what do you think? Who would be your option? We've spoke about Robbie, we've spoke about Silva, we're speaking about Pepe, we're speaking about Ferguson. It looks like the main target's going to be bringing in a striker. Of course, we desperately need a striker to come in through the door. Now, if Guilherme is going to be exiting the club and we're going to get as much finance as we possibly can for him, that means we can put that money back in. But again, let's not forget the phantom offers we're making for all these players, you know, in terms of £50 million, £57 million out there for John Duran earlier in the January transfer window. We know that the club have that money and have put their neck on the line to say that they've got the money, so that should be no object. And yeah, a concern, Ferguson, injuries could be a problem, but he's the Premier League experience, he's 20 and he fits that remit of exactly what we are potentially looking for. A very, very, very clever player. Could be an interesting few days in the West Ham transfer world, so keep your eyes peeled on that. Will we go back in for Pepe? I can't help but think our valuation is a lot lower than what PSV value him at, and we may be able to tempt Brighton away with their player with an option to bring him in immediately right now and the ground running. Let's hope his injuries have gone past him and he is now going to be okay if he does come into West Ham. But keep an eye on those potential deals. There's going to be more names coming your way. Don't you worry, we'll be bringing to you as much as we possibly can. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. Hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Come on, your hands.